Hello, year one, girls and boys and grown-ups. It's Miss Osler here, and I am going to be doing your maths lesson today. So we're going to be looking at measure and measuring a little bit more, which has been our focus for this week. But first of all, we're going to start with our number formation. So let me just quickly share the screen for you, and let's have a look. Number formation, here we go. Right, so we are looking at the number 7, which we looked at first of all on Monday. So I'm going to take my funky finger and I'm going to trace it out in the sky in front of me. Across the sky flies a heron, down to earth, that makes a 7. I always like to try and tracing it in the air with my finger first. Right, let's see. Can you find a bit of paper and a pen? That makes more sense, doesn't it, Miss Osler? And see if you can write a lovely line of beautiful number 7s for us, and you can pause the video whilst you do that. Fantastic. Hopefully you've made some lovely 7s. I'm sure you did. Oh, I've got a little game to play with you now. It's going to go over our shapes. I think you might have done this with Miss Cox yesterday, actually. So behind this screen is a shape, and we're going to slowly unveil it and see what it is. So grown-ups, feel free to pause the video at any point and have a chat with your year one, what it may be that we can see. Oh, I'm going to pause it there. What have we got? We've got a sort of interesting slope coming down here and what looks like two sides. So any clues? What could this be? I think this is quite an easy one, isn't it? What is it? Do we know? It's a triangle. It is. It's a nice big orange triangle because we've got 3 corners, 3 vertices and 3 sides. Fantastic. Let's have a look at the next one. Oh, we're going to go from the top down on this one. What shape do you think we've got? Oh, 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 hang on. Is it another triangle? Could be, couldn't it? Because we've got 2 sloping sides, and this grey bit along here looks like an edge, doesn't it? A side. Let's have a look. Oh, it could be a triangle. Oh no, hang on. I don't think that's a triangle anymore, do you? Oh, we've got more sides appearing. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides appearing. Is that it? 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5 sides. So a put my teeth in. A 5-sided shape. What's a 5-sided shape with 5 vertices? It's a pentagon. Well done. Year one, you are awesome with your shapes. Very, very good. Right, what's next? Our words of the week. Now, we've been using these lots and lots and lots in our maths this week, so we're going to see if we can listen out for some of them today, because I think we're probably going to be talking about some of them today. Let's have a look. We've got same, tall and taller for when we're measuring height, long and longer for when we're measuring length, short and shorter for when we're measuring height and length. So let's see if we can listen out to some of those. Right, on to our first task today. Now we're going to see if we can measure these items using the cubes. We're using our cubes like you probably did yesterday with different unit of measure that you might have found at home. We're going to come back and discuss that later. We're going to see if we can find out how long the pencil is using the cubes. So I'll tell you what, I am going to write on here. Let's see, let's count the cubes out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and is that it? Let's have a look. Yeah, 5. Look, 5. So 5 cubes. So we can finish this sentence here. The pencil is blank cubes long. So that needs to be a 5. That's right. Down and around and a flag on high. That's the way we make a 5. So the pencil is 5 cubes long. Now it's really important to put that in, cubes long, because if we didn't have that and we just said the pencil is 5 long, what does that mean? 5 what? 5 gingerbread men? 5 potatoes? 5 fluffy bunny rabbits? I don't know. 5 cubes. Okay, 5 cubes. Right, I'm going to see if you can pause the video or talk to the person next to you about how long you think the car is. Try and work it out. Okay, did you count? So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think, is that it? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's 7. So we can write this sentence, couldn't we? The car is 7. Across the sky flies a heron, down to earth it makes a 7. There we go. The car is 7 cubes long. Fantastic. The pencil is 5 cubes. The car is 7 cubes. So here's a question for you. Which is the longest? Is the pencil the longest, or is the car the longest? Have a chat to the person next to you, because we've known long and longer. We've heard of that this week. Have we heard longest? Right. Wonder what you said. Did we decide that the pencil was the longest? Did we decide that the car is the longest? How do we know that? Right. We could say, I know that the car is the longest because 7 is greater than 5. Because 7's a bigger number, isn't it? It's greater than, it's larger than 5. So 7 cubes long is longer than 5 cubes long. Well done. Oh, let's have a look at this. We've got a little task here. Again, this is something that you can pause your video and have a chat about at home, or you can speak to the person next to you and see if we can put these ladders in height order. Now we're going to go from the shortest. So I'm going to, oh, I want to put that there. There we go. From the shortest to the tallest. So the tallest is going to go over this end and the shortest is over this end. Okay, now let's just move these ladders around a bit and see. Can you decide which one is the shortest, which one's the tallest, and what order the two ladders in between go? If we're going to order them from the shortest to the tallest, pause the video and have a chat. So, I wonder whether we should do this together. Which one is the shortest? Now, how are we going to see? We're going to compare the heights of these ladders. Now, we're going to make sure they're all pretty much the same along the bottom. Yeah, so we haven't got one up here, one starting up here. They all need to start in the same place, don't they? So that we can measure accurately. Which one? So A, that's not the shortest, is it? Because that one's quite tall. We want the one that's the least tall, so the shortest or the smallest. Ah, there we go. D, I think D. Are we all agreed? D is the shortest. Now, out of A, B, and C, which one's the tallest? Now, tallest is how we measure height, isn't it? Up and down. So which one goes on up into the sky the furthest? B? Well, B looks shorter than C, so that's not the tallest, is it? And C looks shorter than A, doesn't it? So I think A is the tallest. So we're going to put A over here. Right, let's have a look at B and C. So we want, let's see, after B. Do you know what? Looking at those, I think they're in the right order, aren't they? Because C is shorter than A, but taller than B. And B is shorter than C and taller than D. So the shortest to the tallest is D, B, C, and A. Well done, good teamwork. Right, on to our challenges for the day. So we're going to go on a measuring hunt. We're going to measure some objects using our own measuring guide. So for this, I'm going to unshare my screen so that you can see. So we're going to use the same sort of unit of measure that we did yesterday. So I know in school we used cubes. You might have used something like Lego bricks. I call these Lego bricks a 4 square. There's probably a technical term, but I don't know what it is. A 4 square, but you see they're the same size, aren't they? So you could line those up and use those. Or you might have used something like pasta, because they're quite good. They're the same length. The important thing is whatever you're using, whatever objects you're using are the same length as each other. I'm going to line those up. You could do that. Me, I'm going to use some Lego pirates because I raided my son's playroom and found some Lego pirates. So look what I've done here. I've got a bit of paper and I've drawn a line, a straight line across, and this is going to be my guide to line my Lego pirates. War, it sounds a bit like a farmer, so it's ahoy my hearties. Mrs. O, you're going off on a tangent. Right, so we're going to line up our unit of measure. There we go. Along the line, starting at one end, making sure it's right on the edge. There we go. And they're going to touch, that's it, top to tail. So we've got no gaps. There we go. Oh, look, I can fit, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pirates to a sheet of paper. Now I'm going to find lots of things around the house that I could measure. Now, I've got a glue stick. I could measure a glue stick or a pen or a spoon. It's a very long spoon, isn't it? Should we measure the spoon? So I'm going to pop you back down here again. Here we go. There, I'm going to line it up with the edge of my Lego Pirates, the edge of my measuring guide, and count along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 Lego Pirates, just short of a head. There we go. 4.5 Lego Pirates long is my spoon. Right. What about my pen? My pen is, measure that up. There we go. Make sure it's at the same, it's touching the edge. 1, 2, 3, 3 and a foot. 3 and a Lego foot. 3 and a bit Lego Pirates. What else can I find? Oh, what about Spider-Man? Now, Spider-Man, we can measure height, can't we? Because we could sit in there, he stands up. We want to measure how tall he is. But the problem is, look, problem I've got with my measuring guide, if I want to measure how tall he is, how do I do that? Oh, that's rubbish, isn't it? My Lego people have fallen off. So for this, what we could do is if we've got something we want to measure the height of, but it's a bit difficult to get our guide to sit upwards vertically, we could lie him down, couldn't we? So I'm going to measure, put his feet along here so they match up still, and measure how long, how tall he is. 1, 2, 3 and a 3 and a bit. Do you know what? I think, do you think my pen and my Spider-Man, they are the same size? And I did not realise that before I measured them. They are the same size. Can you see that? They are the same. 3 and a bit Lego people. Right. So find some objects to measure around the house using your measuring guide with a bit of paper, and then you can order your objects in size order. So if I was going to order my objects, I would say I was going to order these. I would put that Spider-Man, I'd put him at the top because he's shorter, and I'd put here my spoon at the bottom. So this is the longest. So this is the shortest and this is the longest. Could lay them out, couldn't I, on the floor and make a little label and put maybe longest by my spoon, because at the moment that's the longest thing I found. And maybe I'll put shortest by Spider-Man because he's the shortest thing I found. Or my pen's the shortest thing I found. Could do it like that. Now I'm going to come back to the screen. Oh, yeah, come back to the screen. There we are. Right. So what we're going to do, lay them out and see if you can label them in size order. Have a little think just to yourself. What would you do if you wanted to measure a really big object? Like if, for example, you wanted to see how tall mummy was or daddy was, and you got them to lay on the floor, would you be able to do that using Lego cubes? Because you might need quite a lot of them. Or Lego people. I don't think I've got enough Lego pirates in the house to measure the height of me. Because look, that's just my nose. So what would you do if you wanted to measure a bigger object? Just have a think about that. Right, so you could take photos of the objects that you measure and how you label them. On to level 2 and 3. So level 2, there's a document attached to this lesson email, and it's a cut and stick one. So you can print this out, and we're going to order our sunflowers, our flowers in height order from the shortest to the tallest. Don't worry if you haven't got a printer, you don't want to print it off. You could always maybe draw your own. Grown-ups, you could draw one for your year 1 to do, or maybe your year 1, you could draw your own and order them yourselves. And then level 3, we've got a couple of reasoning rabbit problems to think about. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because we're going to look at those a little bit later on this week as well. I think they might pop up again. So that's maths for today. And yeah, do upload some stuff onto Class Dojo so we can see how you're all getting getting on, and I will see you for some maths again tomorrow. Bye bye.